welcome to the 3-book vlog, random number generator edition. If you watched my June TBR, there was this whole thing where it's like, I don't know what one of the vlog books is because of the TBR jar normal thing, but also this vlog, I don't know what the books are until like I do this. I decided, I don't know why, to do a random number generator to choose what book I read. I went on to Goodreads and they like can sort it by genre and whatnot, and they have the queer tag or LGBTQ plus. I don't know what the official tag is, but for books that are gay, and so you can just sort it for just gay books, and then it doesn't have the numbered list like. My dog's sick. So I'm pretty my sister's taking her out. Anyways, because of that, I made a whole Excel spreadsheet. I really hope you can't hear her outside talking to the dog. Of every gay book on that list. It took me like an hour. I did it. There's 153 technically, because Katie Roberts, a lot of her books are just gay. Characters are just gay. It's just a thing in her books. And so I think the last one on the list is just whatever Wicked Villain book I'm on at the moment. So for this, it would actually be the third one because I'm in the middle of the second one. If I do roll that one, and there are two other that also pulled it on the list that you can see when I pull it up, that are the book for the Buzzwordathon and one of the book club books. Otherwise, they're all just random books on my TBR. A lot of them are fantasy, oddly enough. And I mean, there's more books on my TBR that are gay. I think there's like something like 170 something, but a lot of them are already planned for either vlogs or for the podcast. So can't read them for this, right? So fun times. I'm gonna screen record. I'm gonna do the random rolling first. I have my iPad screen record on. It's already set up at 1 to 153 for the thing. I have a pencil and a sticky note so I can write down the numbers, because it's gonna be more annoying if I have to go back and forth. So I'm just gonna do the one roll and then, or all three rolls in one, and then we will figure out what the books are, and I'll add them to my whiteboard, and I'll figure out when and how I'm gonna read these books. So yeah, it's already screen recording. So first one is 37, got 59, and 124. Cool. Okay, we're cut again. We're just gonna ignore it. There's a puppy at the bottom of the stairs. Yes, so yes, I named the document All the Gays. It's a valid name for it, albeit it is All the Gays. Do you see all these? Yes, I'm just scrolling so you can see all of them. So 37, let me put that over there. 37 would be The Poison Heart. Is that the same author as Cinderella's Dead? Let me check. It is. I did that one, I think, in, I should be like this, in the alphabet vlog 6 bajillion years ago. Yeah, I remember that. This is, I think, her second book. But I heard it was also gay and I heard people really liked it, so I put it on my TBR forever ago. Excited to finally freaking read it. Like, I liked it. I liked the writing. I don't remember if Cinderella is Dead was her debut or not, but I would really like to read a second book of hers to see if she's my like. I only rated that one 3 stars, but like I still really liked it and whatnot. So like reading another book by her newer seems like a good thing to me. Next one is 59, Escaping Exodus. I feel like I could see the cover of it. I think there's a lot of color on it. I don't remember what it is. I think it's sci-fi. It's either sci-fi or fantasy. A lot of these are sci-fi or fantasy, so you know, not the turning of the rude. So you know, good times. I hope none of these are exceedingly long, but we'll see. And then 124. Go scroll down for a bit. Oh, oh no. Oh no. I don't even remember what this book is. I just saw it one time and I thought it looked funny, so I added it to my TBR. It's been on my TBR for like years, like exceedingly amount of years, and I didn't know until I made this list that it was gay. Obviously the cover is a parody of like magazines and whatnot. I think, don't quote me on this, because it's been a few years since I've read the synopsis of #junkie. But I think it's a sports romance. I'm not sure. Oh boy, okay. I'm scared about that one. I don't know when I'm gonna read it. I don't know when I'm gonna read any of these or how I'm gonna read them. Hopefully that one's on Kindle Unlimited still. We'll see. I think that's how I found it. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's all the books. I could like look up the synopses of each of them right now and tell them, but I'll tell them to you when I actually know what's happening in the books. How about that? Basically I'm recording this ahead of time so I know what these books are, so I know what to get and what to download on my Kindle and whatnot. So I will see you at some point in the future, probably in the next weekish, when I start reading for this vlog. Ignore the sounds of birds outside and be happy I brushed my hair for you, okay? I am physically exhausted because of other things, but I have to update you. It's been so long, and since then I've read a whole entire book. Yeah, I read all of Junkie. I don't want to I hate how all of them are hashtag what. I get the point of it, because it's like a play on this magazine that follow these characters. There's literally a point where Drew is interviewed by the magazine, right? And that's like, you see the photo shoot where the cover of the book comes from, which was cool. Okay, but I hate that hashtag. But yeah, the random number generator just did me so good. Oh my god. Listen, we all know I rarely rate things for 5 stars. Very rarely. Like almost never. Like it's like something like 26 books or something like that, I want to say, according to Storygraph. It's one shorter than it actually says, because I've listened to The Poet X as both audiobook, but also I've read it as ebook, and I read it 5 stars both times. And because they're different editions, it counts as 2 books. So it's technically one less than what that says. I don't know. But yeah, I rated this 5 stars. The first 2%, I was on it, okay? It's like Trent, it's about Trent and Drew. Drew's the guy on the cover. Trent and Drew is like this underground race car driver who's like really good. And Trent is his best friend who is about to graduate from college. He is the head of a frat. All this stuff. It's like hinted at stuff from another series that I did look it up later, and basically all the side characters that are all of Drew's family are from another series, so good times. But basically Drew's brother-in-law and his best friend used to be in the same frat and football team as Trent, and that's how they know each other, and then they became best friends. But it starts with at this frat party, Trent gets super drunk because he's trying to hide his feelings, but I didn't get to that at that point in time. There's a bunch of stuff that happens, and I was like, meh, for the first 2%, and then 3 through 6%, it went wildin'. Because Drew was like, I'm not leaving you with these people. I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take care of you. And then he's like trying to clean him up, and he takes off his shirt, and Trent's like, are you trying to take advantage of me as like a joke? And Drew's like, you couldn't get it up if you tried. Right now you're too drunk. And then Trent's like, I could for you. And that's the general vibe of the whole book. Good times. It's one of those gay romances where the characters do just like slightly gay things. Like one of them walks out of the shower wearing just a towel, and the other one's noticing. Or like one of them is just wondering how the other one's lips taste for like a glimpse of a chapter, and then the rest of the chapter is just racing, and I'm just sitting there like, it's the best. Then there's some other stuff. I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, also the character stuff. One, their security and their sexuality, because both of them have been straight this whole time. Drew views it as like not wanting to label himself, which valid. And Trent views it as possibly being gay this whole time, but doing what society expected of him. And then he fell in love with Drew and he didn't know how to handle it, so like he's like shoving it all down until it comes to a climax where he decides to go to a gay bar to see if he like likes other men, which he does, but then Drew's being chased down, so he has to go to the same gay bar. And he sees him there, and then he gets mad at him, and he's not mad because he's gay. He's mad because he didn't tell him, and he was like, we were best friends. And then he's like, well, I wanted to test things out. And then he's like, test things out with me. And then they're both into it. It is a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah. I learned that the whole entire series is male-male romances. The next one also follows Trent and Drew. I saw them before I finished the book, and now that I finished the book, I know why that ending. I'm okay. I'm not. I literally gotta make a room next month to read it because oh my god. But basically, the third one is about this female racer who was popped in a little bit throughout this one, so you know, good times. But yeah, this is an underappreciated book. It's got like 4,000 ratings or something like that, 6,000, something like that on Goodreads. It's high though. It's like over 4 stars on Goodreads for the average, so you know, it makes sense. And I loved it. Like, I rated it 5 stars, and I'm me, okay? Like, yeah, it was good soup. I recommend it. I gotta read the next one. Anything else to say? Oh yeah, if you didn't watch the weekend reading vlog, last week's vlog, yeah, why I'm having difficulty with words, it's 10 a.m. or something like that. Actually, that's accurate. There, I clipped in between each clip, I just threw in this meme of Bella that the lovely Stingray made. Because I took this one photo of Bella in a flannel, and then I kept on sending it as a meme in the chat, on the DMs, and then Stingray was like, please, and so made like the grunge version, I don't know, of it, which made me laugh, and then made a whole entire freaking meme about it. And here is meme, because 1, everyone needs to see this. 2, this is actually just the plot of the book. Yes, I did yell at Stingray to read this book. More like I told Stingray almost everything that was happening, and then Stingray was like, oh my god, I gotta read this. So, good times. I'm confused on how a physical copy of the book is over 500 pages and the ebook is just short of 300 pages. I'm not gonna question it. Also, I know more about cars than I ever needed to as a person who doesn't drive. I'm gay and I'm good at math. I can't drive. But each chapter starts with like a car fact thing, and I don't know. Apparently the author did like a lot of research for that. But yeah, it was good. So it's 5 stars. Great start. I didn't update you at all because like I was too into it. I couldn't. Yeah. That's that. I don't know which one I'm gonna read next. I don't know. I'm tired, so like I want to read. I didn't read anything yesterday. We're in my streets. But like to read, I may just read Escaping Exodus next because I did get the audiobook of it. I couldn't find the other audiobook, but I could have Escaping Exodus, so I may do that one next just because I have it as audiobook. And I'm scared because I don't know what to expect, but sci-fi. So we got straight romance, sci-fi, and fantasy. I think I already mentioned that in the intro. I don't remember. It's been a long time. It's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll update you at some point. New filming location. That's gonna be shaky because I didn't want to set up my fan. So that's like what I set my phone on, so it's my knee right now. You know, normal things. But I did the opposite of what said I was gonna do. I read all this Poison Heart instead. Yeah, I need to make room to read the sequel next month. Thankfully, it's only a duology. Thankfully, because yeah, so I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Greek name, so I think it's Bresis, but like don't quote me on that. We all remember the Patroclus issue. So basically, she has plant powers and whatnot. She can grow plants pretty easily. And then one day she is dealing with a poisonous plant in secret, and her hand accidentally gets cut, and some poison gets into her bloodstream. And like normally she would have instantly died. But it just like didn't affect her. Like her hand got a little cold and numb, but otherwise. So, you know, good times. And whatnot. And then she gets word from a lawyer and the adoption agency that the sister of her biological mother, because she's adopted and has two moms, the sister has recently died and left her the property that they've lived on forever. And like they're dealing with money troubles and whatnot. They currently live in Brooklyn, so they go to this small town, move into this pretty big size house and whatnot, and do all this stuff. And then there's like a bunch of stuff with Medea and Hecate, and mysteries with that. There's like a secret garden behind the house. Like the only people who can enter are like people with the plant power, because like the path only opens up for those, right? Because the plants move in and whatnot. And so she goes through basic normal garden. They think it's like used to be an old apothecary and whatnot, and it is, but they also like helped out a lot of magical people in the community, because apparently it's a big magical community in this one small town in New York. But also there's a poison garden, and there's like secret gates. There's like a whole mystery finding out how to get into it, and there's a really weird plant, and a bunch of poisons. There's the guy in town who works at the bookstore who she like gets along with. I'm not gonna talk about him. There's the hot girl she has a crush on, who kisses her cheek 2 times, I think, and it's cute. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. I liked it more than Cinderella's did. Most of the book, I was like thinking 4 stars, right? And then around the 80% mark, I was thinking maybe 3.5, because like some character decisions, like it takes her way too long to recognize things. Like she's immune to poison, but it takes her like a good chunk of the book. I figured it out easily. And a bunch of other stuff, and all this. And so I was like, I don't know. Some things like that like took too long. And then also there was one point, I swear I noticed it, I don't remember the exact detail, but like there was a detail where she goes to the coroner to be like, okay, how do the members of my family keep on dying like super young? Like, is this some weird illness that I should be like looking into? You know, valid. And so he tells her the actual truth and says one thing, and then like at the last 20%, like a good bit later, someone else reiterates one of the details he said, and she's like, wait a second, that happened? I think it's that her aunt isn't dead per se, but like she went missing shortly after her sister died, who was the biological mother of the main character, and she was recently presumed dead, right? And I went, wait, she already knew this, right? But then the last 15%, 10%, heckin' wildin'. That's why I gotta immediately read the next book. So like I was like 4.5, but then I was like, no, I was thinking 3.5 right before that happened, so I averaged out to 4. But it was good too. I liked it. I'm gonna go. I do plan to actually read Escaping Exodus tomorrow, so. Okay, ignore the sense of birds outside, because my windows are all the way open, especially that one. That one's all the way open. That one's partially open to get air through here because stuffy attic. But we're seaside around 7 a.m. to be, well, 6ish, but real noticeable at 7 a.m. to be real loud. But yeah, I have things to talk about. I'm drinking coffee. I have had it. I'm drinking coffee. Let me live my life. I did repaint my nails because they were pretty badly, completely chipped off with building a shed in a whole weekend. It's fine. But escaping Exodus. You know, just, I have things to say. I did attempt to do both audio and ebook. One, long chapters. The first chapter was like 55 minutes. I don't know about the rest of them because I didn't have to after chapter 1, but yeah, no, also it was like almost 10% of the book, which is about the amount I try to get into a book before I contemplate DNFing, if I'm not feeling it. And then if I'm mad that at the point I tried to go for 100 pages, and then at that point usually I decide to DNF it or not, and except for rare occasions. So I was like on the verge of 10%, so I was like, you know what, I'm good. Which, you know, I've got many reasons why. I have multiple reasons why. First one, world building. I have difficulty when it comes to sci-fi books, and world building. And I think the reason I really love sci-fi movies and TV shows is like I can visually see the world building, so it's not as hard for me to visualize. Like the idea of these people in a tiny spacecraft, with a whole bunch of cultural stuff, with like the hierarchy of people and whatnot, and how the lower workers are the ones who are like, or lower people are the ones who have to like literally carve out the bones of these creatures they live in, and yet you think they'd be more important to the society. Yeah. But basically they have to go from space beast, I don't know what they are, to space beast, and they basically carve out the center of it and basically float inside of this beast and till they use up all the materials within it, and then most people go into hibernation, and select few who are going to basically spend the time fixing up the next one to make it so it's livable again. That's kind of like the world building. The main character is the daughter of the matriarch. Hear me out. One, I get it's adult because like the idea of hanging people via their thumbs for punishment was brought up already multiple times in like the first chapter, but like I'm pretty sure the main character, at least for the first chapter, I don't know if there's a time jump, is a teenager, and also is very much like those early 2000s YA heroines that are so insufferable it makes you want to scream, and I'm too old for that now. Okay, thank you very much. Also, yeah, I don't like her. There's like a lot of stuff. I was trying to think about how to explain this, and then for some reason I thought of the TV show Merlin as like a comparison, so I'm gonna do that apparently, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure there's conversations about race in this one and not so much in Merlin, but you know, that's fine. So basically she breaks out, the main character, I think her name's Seskis or something like that, breaks out of her pod, basically hibernation pod, to like try to help out with the switching of the beast and whatnot, because she feels like she should be able to learn this stuff because she's going to be the leader at some point in the future, right? And so she breaks out to do this because her mother wouldn't let her do it, and she gets caught almost immediately by there's like these elite guards, and there's only like one male one, and he's the one that catches her, but also like the person who helps her is like a lower working class person, and who's like her best friend, but like the best friend's like going to get demoted and lose her future for helping her and all this stuff, and she like feels bad about it, and she does try to help, but like, you know, good times. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff where she blinds him to get her friend out of there, and then he gets attacked because of that, and so she has to save him from being attacked, and he's like, I could have died, and she's like, oh, so I saved your life, you better thank me. And I'm like, hello, and he's like, hello, and then he saves her life from a thing, and then he finally gets her to her mother, and initially the plan is just to lie to the mother and say everything went easily, and then he'll get a promotion. But then the main character decides to tell her mother everything, and then but also accidentally slips that her best friend is there, and so then he has to cover for the best friend as well, and that because of that he will not get his promotion, and also he will never get that promotion and will never achieve his dreams. And I did look at some reviews, and apparently he dies also because of this. And she recognizes that this is a thing, and she's like, oops. But also apparently the mother has been working with the sister. I don't know how it's half sisters or whatnot, but basically there's like this thing where like when they are giving birth to the next generation who will rule, two different women, one of them being the matriarch already, I'm pretty sure, are pregnant, and whoever has the kid first, that's the next in line, and the second one is killed. Usually they end the pregnancy. But because the main character was not supposed to be born first, but she was, because she was born so premature, they kept her mother's pregnancy with the sister, I think it's like Siskin or something like that they never give an actual name apparently. They kept the pregnancy in case the main character dies. But then she doesn't, and so the mother is supposed to like kill the child, but she doesn't want to kill her child. And so she's like tried her hardest to make it so that the sister can like be part of this family, despite the fact that she's not supposed to be part of this family, and there's a bunch of rules and laws and whatnot. Like tries her hardest, and all this stuff. And apparently it's already obvious that at this point the main character is very rash and all this fun stuff. And so the mother also recognizes this and is like, I don't want you to be ruling these people. At this point in time, you would not be good at it. I'd rather our family line stop ruling than let you rule. So her plan was to go to the sister and train the sister to help her out. Right? And technically she went behind the main character's back because the main character wanted to be trained, but no, she trained the sister instead. And I get like being upset about it, but she straight up says she should have killed her sister when she should have. And then how dare you go behind my back and all this stuff. And the mother then does apologize to her for going behind, like I get the going behind the back, does apologize, and then she's like, well, it's not good enough because you went behind my back, and how dare you choose sister over me. And you know, like there's a chance she could get better with character growth. And this is where I bring up Merlin, because that is very similar to how Arthur was, not as dark, but Arthur was in the first episode specifically. I mean, generally throughout the first season, but specifically the first episode. And then as more people came in, like Gwen and Merlin and Lancelot, like there's a part where Lancelot can't become a knight despite the fact that that's his dream because of things outside his control. But then as soon as Arthur gets the chance that he can fix that, he does. Hear me out. And he starts, like when he starts hanging out with people that are not part of the royalty constantly, and being like the princely guy, he like has character growth where he recognizes that maybe, you know, what other people, like dealing with other people, helping the lower class, probably kind of important. Like literally the whole entire reason the mother did this is because she's worried how her daughter would treat the lower class. And from a thing I saw in a review, that's a good thing because apparently she kills 2/3 of them for just fun or something. I don't know. But like Arthur is out here like with character growth, with people around him to like become a better person and do this. So yay, good times. We love cars going up the road, but like even from the reviews I looked at, there's no way that it does not happen with this character in this book. But even if it does happen, it wouldn't be enough for me. I just wouldn't be happy. So at most it would be 3 stars, and I'm just, who's got time for that, especially with an audiobook that's over 10 hours long. Thank you very much. So I didn't have to at 9%. That's my reasoning. I'm gonna go now. That's the end of this vlog. I can hear my mom coming home, so I'm gonna try to finish this off real fast. Next week is the vlog where I read the books Stingray picked out for me. Good times, Wednesday reading vlogs, or not reading vlogs, read with me. There we go. And that's that. Everything linked below, including podcast stuff. Okay, bye.